stuff's made in China mostly, right?
It is. Yeah, in the debate he brought that up. Then they went to a commercial break, so no one got their shot in. So he's walking by me to go to the bathroom or something. And I go, Trump, ties really? You have to get your ties. He goes, yeah, it's really embarrassing. Or Mexico. The ties are in Mexico. He says, we're making the ties now in Los Angeles. There's a factory we're making them in. It's really expensive. I'm going, God, why did you say that with the cameras on, man? It's really expensive.
Someone else just did that for him.
So. Oops. No, I know what I was doing. He was laughing about it.
Yeah.
I don't fret. I don't wring my hands and I go, oh, woe is me, and this is so unfair. Oh, yeah. It doesn't bother. It's like, let's just get going, baby. I mean, I'm excited about this, and I believe going through tough times is a great way to show your mettle, to show who you are, and I'm looking forward to making the comeback. I love my brothers. I love my older brother George. I love my dad. Maybe you're talking about him, who was the 41st president. I love them, but I'm who I am. Do you have brothers? You got sisters? Are you the same as them? No. I rest my case.
How often do you talk to your dad, and what was the last bit of advice or observation that he's had?
He's kind of following it. He doesn't give me advice. He just tells me he loves me. Occasionally asks about what the hell's going on with Trump. He hadn't figured out the Trump phenomenon yet. But there's a long line of people that haven't figured that out yet. So, my mom and dad they're just loving parents right now. My brother's advice has been more constructive. I knew you were, that's why I'm going there. Just because he's the last two presidents, Republicans, that have won the presidency happen to be George W. Bush. And as he might have said, he's been completely misunderestimated as a candidate, extraordinary candidate, discipline, on message, dogged determination. I can learn a lot from him. And his advice is, stay the course, you're going to win. Just be patient, keep working hard. The way it ends up never appears that way until it gets closer to the end. And there is enough history on that to give me some confidence you might be right. It's a full-service pharmacy.
Oh, we have Governor, if you look over there, there is the Honorable George Bush, the President of the United States.
Yeah.
That's his picture is up there. On behalf of the town.
Is there any space for me there? That's what
it's coming.
It's coming. Your brother lowered taxes on the wealthy, and the economy collapsed, if you recall. Lowering taxes on the wealthy does not create jobs.
You want to say how you pay for it. You don't put it off the backs of working people. You cut the spending in Washington, D.C. for the first time.
What are you going to cut? What are you going to cut? Like $1 trillion. Tell us.
So lighten up. Put a smile on your face. Let's have a nice conversation.
I did like you saying America had a future. That's the first positive thing I've heard from the Republicans.
That's my question.
Here we go, baby. Let's have this is what New Hampshire politics is about, is to be a little happier and joyful about it rather than angry.
I was glad.
My daughter's addictions, for whatever reason, I don't need to get into the specifics of what her diagnosis is today, and she's drug-free, thank God. She went through hell, and so did her mom and so did her dad. And it was both in a private setting, but then it became very public when I was governor. It's very debilitating when you have a loved one that is struggling and you can't control it. And you gotta love them, but you also have to make it clear you can't enable the behavior that gets them in trouble. And I have so many friends and so many people I've known that have gone through this. It crosses all barriers, all lines, all races, all income. So, it's not easy. Look, my daughter, she's doing fine now, but it's with you for the rest of your life.
Here in New Hampshire, the law enforcement community and our citizens face many challenges, and we look forward this afternoon to having the opportunity to discuss some of these challenges with Governor Bush today. Please join me in a warm welcome for Governor Jeb Bush.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you. Know from my own experience that we need to respect the heroic work that law enforcement does, make sure that their departments are well resourced, that people are well trained, that we encourage the rebuilding of trust. And national leaders need to take the lead in that regard, to be honest with you, to rebuild trust so that there can be safety and security in all of our communities.
I thought it was interesting on Meet the Press, you're talking about the death penalty, and you expressed a lot of reservations about it.
Yeah.
And actually, when you were governor, you put a moratorium on it after there was a botched execution.
Yeah, we had a couple of doozies. It just didn't work. I mean, it didn't work in a way that you would want. It should not be a gruesome procedure. This is completion of a sentence. Justice, delayed is justice denied. But sometimes in life, you do things even though you're conflicted. I mean, it's not always black and white. It's not always either or. Sometimes there are principles and values on both sides that you can respect. And there's a lot that can be accomplished in this extraordinary country if we shake off our deep pessimism as a nation.
And I know that with Governor Bush in office, America's future is promising.
I said I've been getting a lot of advice lately. Take off the glasses. Take off that coat. Get rid of that purple striped tie, and I wore the tie. I looked at it, I said, I like this damn tie. I could have added, stop wearing the tan suit.
That suit is hideous.
Oh my God. You wear it well.
It's not in season.
I do.
Your eyes.
And this is coming from a guy who dresses like that. Understanding their anger is important, but preying on people's angst and their fear won't elect presidents. The next president of the United States needs to have a servant's heart, needs to have the humility to listen first, then learn, and then lead with passion and conviction. The next president of the United States needs to be a true leader, the kind of leaders that we've counted on in difficult times. This is not the most difficult time in American history by far. World War II was a difficult time. The Great Depression prior to that, the Civil War. And we've always counted on presidents who prayed to their Creator on bended knee, who had the strength and fortitude to stick with things, the humility to listen to people and to recognize it's not all about them. We've always relied on leaders that had a servant's heart. What time are we doing Hannity?
They're ready to go.
Now.
What's the meaning of life?
Well, well,
I'm asking you.
He's the
I think
shooter.
it's to keep going.
You're right,
Yeah.
brother.
There you go.
Right. It's dogged determination. Never giving up. It's doing the little things over and over again when no one's watching. That's how you win.
Said, that's my inspirational.
Did I?
What he said, keep grinding, moving forward.
He's a grinder. That's what he does best.